Costa has gone to so many of these events. He's covered these rallies. He understands really just the feeling in the air, Bob, of when you're there and there's so many people. And, you know, President Trump supporters, you know, are known for how passionate they are. What does it feel like when you're actually there? What is that atmosphere?
There are people who follow former President Trump's rallies across the country, almost like some people follow musicians. It has often reminded me, as a Grateful Dead fan, of how people would have the fervent following for the Dead. A lot of people have the fervent following for former President Trump. They'll go from city to city, arena to arena, because there's a sense of jubilation among his political supporters that the rally has a convening power for those who are like-minded to come together and support former President Trump. I've seen him everywhere from the South Bronx to California to Texas to Florida. He goes everywhere, arenas, outside. He's unlike most politicians. He focuses on rallies as the place where he can really bring his people together. So, and there have been incidents in the past of some unruliness at his rallies, protesters, disruptions, but nothing like this. And even though it's always Secret Service protected, this is something at an entirely different level. Someone discharging a firearm, it appears to be, at the former president and perhaps at others there.
I'm being told that we have new material coming in, Bob. I'm going to play that to see what it shows. Do we have that material? New video from the scene? I'm sorry, while we get to that, while we look at that, I'll bring in Margaret Brennan with some new reporting.
I've just been trying to make phone calls to make sure everyone is safe. The Senate candidate, Dave McCormick, who was in that front row, has confirmed that he is safe at this rally, but there are reports of other individuals in the area who did have contact here of some sort, injuries of some sort. So I'm just trying to call lawmakers to confirm their whereabouts. But what you can see, and as you have been seeing, our inboxes are just exploding with emails from Democratic lawmakers, the Democratic governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, coming out condemning political violence, the governor of Michigan, Democrats very quickly to condemn this act of violence, to distance
My mic was off. There
from
we go.
their political.
Thank you very much for subscribing. Appreciate it.
There is
Assassination
no suggestion that there
president
would be a connection, but they are very clearly trying to, out of the gate, say that there is no place for political violence in our politics at this moment.
Breaking news.
High tension. An important message to be sent at this moment, just 4 months out from a race that was already quite tense. And we're seeing world leaders. We're seeing the Hungarian prime minister, the Israeli prime minister, others describing this as an attempted assassination of the former president, current leading candidate, not just for the Republican nomination, but potentially another 4-year term.
And Margaret, I'm just getting an email now from CBS News contributor Richard Esposito. This says that according to multiple state, local, and federal law enforcement sources, the shooter who fired at Donald Trump was, quote, neutralized, as we have reported, by U.S. Secret Service agents. This
I just woke up, man.
From a counter-assault team.
He had some blood on his. He had some blood on his face.
Injured, at least
he
one
felt
in
something
condition.
on his ear. He looked like he put his hand up on his ear.
On initial reports.
He must have got grazed or something.
What is happening now is we're starting to piece together
He's safe, apparently.
Is it that exactly transpired. This is
I
an
just took a
active
nap,
crime
man.
scene.
Laid down for a second, did the old person thing, and took a nap.
Reporters who follow every movement that the candidate makes, Jake Rosen, Olivia Rinaldi, were there. They saw it happen. They heard it. You can see from that very rough video that they dropped to the ground. And by the way, political violence is not necessarily a norm.
Well,
in this
he went
country,
off. He went off defiant, man.
Not just the moment
Fist in the air.
What we, as reporters, have been preparing for, which is the expectation
Arby.
that in this election cycle, there very well may be political violence. And our reporters do train for that now. That is something you do typically when you go overseas.
Man, I can't believe it. I woke up. I said I was going to watch a little news.
These rallies to cover political conventions. And so we are happy to know that those two reporters are safe. But as we're seeing from the video, they are feeding in.
I just watched one of the videos Jake Rosen sent in, and he's talking to attendees who are clearly traumatized.
Has just tipped $100.
And one gentleman, I'm sure we'll have it soon here at CBS News on Air, had a shirt that clearly had blood on
I can't believe it.
And
well,
so
I mean, I can't, but I can.
Reporters
you know what I mean?
Doing their jobs,
We
for
knew
CBS News and
this
other
was going to
outlets,
happen.
but
I've
we
been
see
saying, if
those
you look at all my
attendees
past episodes,
just
they can't
rattled
let
by
him
the
become
experience of being
president.
part of a
Assassination
violent
attempt was, in
Because
my opinion, was
even
part of the
if there was
formula,
an intended
part of the
target,
mix.
as there appears to have been, to have a shot like that, multiple shots at a very well-guarded stage, there were people in the area who were also hit, which suggests, and if you could hear it, it didn't sound like an automatic weapon, but there were others that were hit in the area, and we are being careful. And when we are reading these initial
Oh yeah, that
reports,
picture is
and
American
I would
as
have to
fuck.
say,
You got
some of
that
the
right.
graphic
In
detail
defiance,
that we are
man.
getting
In
from
defiance.
some of our reporters on the ground.
And we're just getting
I mean,
the
I don't want him
update
to get shot,
that
but
from our reporters, Olivia
this is
Rinaldi
it.
and Jake
Man, you want to
Rosen,
talk about
I'm
changing
sure
the
you're getting this update as well.
whole 9 yards,
People are being
man.
escorted out. Jake
Everything
Rosen spoke to
changed.
an emergency room
Everything just
physician who
leveled
saw
up,
a
man,
shot
really
in the
big
head with
time.
brain matter on the ground. That's according to an ER physician performed. An ER physician performed CPR, but he did not. He's dealing with that at this moment. That's Jake Rosen, our report. To be clear, Jake Rosen, our reporter on the ground in Butler, Pennsylvania, has spoken to an emergency room physician who saw a man shot in the head with brain matter on the ground. That's based on Jake Rosen's reporting. Jake looked at the camera after the incident.
Yeah, stick with us, man. We're going to be covering this for at least a little while, an hour or two, and see what the hell is going on.
The scene. He was our reporter on the scene.
Yeah, Richard
Scott
Simmons just
McFarlane, who's
died.
been on the ground doing excellent reporting as well.
One less homosexual in the
8 to
world.
10 explosions based
One
on his
less
reporting.
old
He
fag
said
in the
crowd
world.
Ducked based on his reporting notes, hit the ground when
He's
a
an old
popping
fag.
sound occurred. To Margaret's point, it was a popping sound. The press was under the risers. They saw Secret Service swarm to the
He's
left
a
of
Hooters
Trump
smoker.
following the incident. Saw helicopters come in a few minutes after. That's based
You see
on
that? You see the supporters
Olivia Rinaldi, Jake
putting up
Rosen,
their
and Scott
hands
McFarlane,
with
who are
flipping
in
off.
Butler, Pennsylvania.
And we do have that reporting that at
Defiance!
least one person has been injured in critical condition. And it is still early. A lot more details will come out. People's conditions change. They go up, they go down. We'll learn more about, hopefully, President Trump's condition. We are told he is safe, but we don't have the details. Was he hit directly? Was he just grazed? We're now being told that Vice President Kamala Harris has also been briefed on the incident. We know that President Biden has been briefed by members of his cabinet. Now Vice President Harris has been briefed.
Stop
She
airing my
was
dirty laundry,
also
love.
addressing crowds today at her own rally, as was the First Lady. All of these figures out on the campaign trail as this campaign heats up. And this is happening, this political violence at a time.
No, I don't believe
when
that.
there
I don't
is
believe
such
for a
tension
second it
in
was
the country.
staged.
Yet people still are going out to support their candidates, still taking those risks and going through all the security.
If anything, it was orchestrated by their side or
to
the
see
CIA.
the democratic
CIA
process
was
play
involved.
out. And now we're seeing really the cost of those risks. Clearly a catastrophic failure of security. The Secret Service is investigating. This is a live investigation, and many questions will be asked in terms of what went wrong, who was able to enter this area.
I remember when
were
they
able
tried to assassinate
shoot at
Ronald
this area
Reagan.
from outside
We
the
picked up the
security
phone and
perimeter. We
all
still
circuits
don't
were
know.
busy. I couldn't
It's
call
still
anyone.
early. We're
Remember that? I
still
tried to call my
just
mom.
getting initial details in,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
crime scene
Yeah,
is
yeah.
active. We are told by our reporter,
Yeah, I
Olivia
just
Rinaldi,
responded
who was
to it.
there, that
We'll keep searching
crime
the
scene
news.
tape
Wolf, yeah,
is
gmail.com.
up.
Anything
The area has been
alternative, because I'm
cleared.
gonna just
We
leave Wolfie
have
on, and then we'll-
heavily
if you can
armed
find
security
anything.
personnel who have
have a
entered
second browser window we can use.
this fairground, essentially, is what it is in Butler County, Pennsylvania. And this is a part of this battleground state that has supported former President Trump twice. They went for him in 2016, again
Yeah,
in
the Patriot
2020.
Front
So
is
this somewhere where
shot
he
full, if not
enjoys
entirely,
a
all
great amount of
FBI.
support. And
It's a
of course,
whole
for
false
something like
flag.
this to
I've
happen,
always believed it has been.
chaos ensued afterward. This is what we saw on the video. This is what we're told by our reporters there. We now have some new video. We're going to play it for you right now.
New video, guys. New video.
We're okay.
This is video from She follows President Trump. She's been to
Mark Violets, known
countless
Antifa
rallies
extremist.
Like
Hold on.
this. And there's our Scott McFarlane
Hold
on the
on.
bleachers, as he told us he was. And this is a moment where all of the training that we've all been through in this country, of all ages, for what to do when there is.
I can't believe it. I feel right now like I'm living once again in another level of dystopian reality. But I knew it was going to happen. I've been preparing myself for this moment.
In the bleachers,
yeah, I'm seeing the shooter right now.
The press area near the stage. Former President Trump raising his hand in defiance as he's escorted off stage after the incident. We just got a statement.
There's the blood. You can see.
For CBS News, which just received a statement from President George W. Bush. The former president said, quote, "Laura and I are grateful that President Trump is safe following the cowardly attack on his life, and we commend the men and women of the Secret Service for their speedy response." So as Margaret said, Democrats and Republicans coming up with statements.
So the shooter was Butler Police Department confirms the arrest of the Trump shooter. Well, not arrest because he's dead, but apparently they said he was identified as Mark Violets, a known Antifa extremist. Huh, really weird. Doesn't look like me. What the hell's wrong with you? For one, I have a better beard. Yeah, that's him supposedly. So, a known Antifa extremist. So, can we now just say all Antifa is a bunch of fucking terrorists?
Yeah.
Now can we do it? Huh? Now? How about now? I mean, they burned most of the fucking cities and killed a bunch of people. You dumb fucks. Maybe now's the goddamn time to do it. I guess the liberal version of me. Yeah, just shot the goddamn former president.
No, this has
So
to be a professional.
maybe, you dumb
If
fucks,
they
they're a
grazed
bunch
his
of
ear,
goddamn
it was the
fucking
breeze that
terrorists.
saved him.
Maybe it only took you 5
Wow.
goddamn fucking years. Goddamn
Yeah, God
cunts.
saved our president. Andrew Tate says God saved our president. You got that right.
Someone on a roof there. Potentially, this is someone who was outside the security perimeter. I'm going to bring in our reporter, Olivia Rinaldi. Olivia, what can you tell us? We've been getting some of your video in the newsroom here. What did you see? What did you hear?
Adriana, it was a terrifying moment. Trump was probably a few minutes into his remarks, and all of us were waiting for a vice presidential announcement. Instead, we heard successive loud noises, loud bangs that were playing. It sounded like shots. We immediately took cover. I pulled out my phone and I started recording. You can hear my voice there, pretty shaky. You could start to hear Secret Service also through Trump's microphone trying to get him down on the ground. We were down for probably, it felt like a lifetime. It was probably like 30 seconds or so. And then I popped my head up and I could see Donald Trump surrounded by security and Secret Service and pumping his fist. And he wouldn't, they were trying to get him off the stage and he was resisting them a little bit and putting his fist up in the air. After that happened, they cleared him. We could hear the motorcade leave right away. Our security personnel was with us as
Our
well.
heads are even different
we had
shaped.
all gotten down.
What the
We
hell's
fell
wrong
down
with
the
you?
farland next to us, and a couple of pieces of equipment also fell down with him as we got down on the ground. Chaos ensued after that. I was looking at the bleachers to the left of where Trump was, and you could see people cleared out of there. You could see some blood on the bleachers as well. And I watched police unfold yellow crime scene tape and put it there. It was shocking and it was scary. Reporters that I talked to, I mean, we're at these rallies multiple times a week. I was just at one in Doral, Florida. It's the unimaginable, but it's something we prepare for, and it's something that, as Margaret was saying,
Allegedly, it is a guy named Mark Violets.
But overall, just a very, very tragic event that happened here today.
It's something you can prepare for, but never really be ready for. Olivia Rinaldi, thank you for that report from the ground. Margaret, this is at a time, as you were saying, where the threat has never been higher.
Exactly, and on many fronts, foreign and domestic. But I wanted to underscore and come back to when I said this wasn't unexpected, I meant because of that threat environment. But I wanted to go to the specific language that was in a report our Pat Milton put out earlier today. She obtained the joint threat assessment that was in preparation for the RNC that's just about to get underway in Milwaukee, that large Republican gathering. And at that time, law enforcement said no credible specific threats were identified at the time in the assessment, but there was a warning that the RNC could be viewed as an attractive target due to the symbolic nature of the political convention. So they were putting out a general warning to be on alert in Milwaukee, where a lot of those Secret Service agents are concentrated right now. The Secret Service that was with the 45th president and Republican.
So if you're just joining us, we have an
nominees, we're
assassination
looking at
attempt
ushering
on the
him
president of
stage
the
in
United
that
States.
photo. You can
39
see
thing from the
him with
999.
his
Former
arms around
president,
those officers,
Donald J. Trump.
encircling him.
Current president.
They
Arguably, he is the
with him at
current
all times
president,
in
yes.
detail. But I'm just underscoring here that
Unbelievable,
the FBI,
man.
Secret Service, DHS, the Milwaukee Police Department, Southeastern Wisconsin Threat Analysis Center, all of them right now out in Wisconsin are on high alert because of this political violence, domestic violent extremism, which means somebody radicalized here at home, and the terror threat.
Yeah, they're
So
always
this
saying
is
we're
an
the
environment
ones,
where
you know,
all
we're the
on alert. We
terroristic
have to
people.
learn
That's
more
why
about
we're
that
all in
shooter who
jail.
has apparently been
Sons of
neutralized, as
bitches,
we've been
liars.
reporting. They'll want to understand his motivations, any connections he might have, whether he was a lone wolf.
Flag in the
Any other
background,
details as
defiant,
our
blood on his
Sam
cheek,
Van Brad and
fist in
others,
the air.
who are operators can give better context to. But I just want to make sure we put into context that there was a warning that went out as early as this morning about the potential for violence.
That's
At the
amazing.
Republican convention. As we can expect, there will be
Yes,
similar
goddamn
warning
them.
at the DNC
God,
when it gets underway
goddamn
in
them
August.
to
As I
hell.
shut my computer, I'll be right back.
Here we are, political
Antifa
violence
are definitely
unfolding
terrorists.
at a political rally
They
in
are.
America.
They're
Scott
Soros-funded
McFarlane was there, and he was
organization.
ushered out
They
by
are the
security
paramilitary
personnel. We have him
wing
now on the phone.
of
Scott?
the Democratic National Convention. That's right. Paramilitary group of the DNC.
Scott, if you can hear me, go ahead.
Holy shit. World just blew up, guys.
Can you dial into that same number?
We've lost Scott McFarlane, but I'll bring it back to our discussion here and summarize what we know so far for anyone joining us.
And how did they
now.
take him out so clean?
Shots have rung
Yeah, that's a
out
good
at
question. How
rally
did they
in
take him
Butler
out so
County,
clean?
Pennsylvania, where President Trump was addressing a crowd of thousands.
No, what I'm saying,
something
yeah, what
he
I'm saying
does
is he was a
day in and
CIA
day
or
out. These
FBI,
So, my computer
MK
is totally
Ultra
frozen up.
crazy,
happens so
highly
much. The
trained.
security protocols are typically so tight.
Now, you could see me. Everything's working on screen.
Was it-
Dogs,
But I can't do anything.
No,
right
it
now
was
on my
it was somebody that made look like a rogue CIA guy. It was an operative, somebody that they've been working on.
Personnel rushing the president, removing him from the area. His fist goes up. He puts his
Yeah,
hand
we ain't
to
gonna
his
take
head,
it
and
anymore,
you can
RB.
see
I
in the
did
close-up
open it.
photos of
We
the
were
president,
just talking about this
blood on
yesterday.
his
The
hands.
energy
Bubba
was
sent me
high.
froze my computer
By
up.
Russell
the
Brand was
campaign,
feeling it.
as well as the Secret Service, that the president
There is a
is
dark
safe.
cloud upon us, and I knew it. I've been feeling it too. It's been, you know what? I felt like shit all day. I've been bothered. I've been off center all day.
At the moment, our Scott McFarlane, who was on the ground, reported that he saw a helicopter arriving on scene. Bob Costa is here with us.
Scott
in the
McFarlane
studio.
has been doing exemplary work along with our team on the ground since he can't join us.
I'm just
now at the
restreaming
moment.
Wolfie
To
because
reiterate
Wolfie's pretty
Scott's
much
reporting,
good at getting the
reporters on
streams that
ground.
are
Scott
relevant.
says he heard between 8 to 10 explosions, popping sounds. He saw the crowd duck. He hit the ground when he was sitting under the bleachers. He heard this popping sound. The press was under the risers.
I'll be
most of
right
them
back in a
around
second.
that area, very close to the stage.
Watch out for the news
They
stream. I'll be
witnessed
right
the
back.
Secret Service swarm to the left of Trump following the incident, climbed.
Hang on.
They were doing a bio of him, biopic, and Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore. You know Pauly Shore?
Yeah, no, yes.
Pauly Shore. He was gonna play Richard Simmons.
What happened to my stream?
What did you do? The stream.
What's going on? Why am I dying? Oh, Wolf just went down. Yeah, Wolf went down. Holy crap. Okay. Find me a live stream. Find me a live stream and put it in YouTube history. I mean, I can change over if it's not in the
All right, here's one.
What's going on? All right, hang on. In the name of love, before you pray. All right, stop. All right, history.
From the political discourse and the political stage here in this country. So, in case you're just tuning in again, an assassination attempt, it's what's being classified here against President Trump. A bullet grazing, it appears.
All right, hang on, I got it.
The president is good, as you can see. He is good to go and walked off under his own
he
power.
died.
But as you can see, his ear getting grazed by a bullet as he was whisked away by Secret Service. I can only imagine what's happening in the minds of the family members of the individual who was killed, who did take this would-be assassin's bullet. And what that family must be going through tonight and asking themselves some very pointed questions. What kind of country do we live in run by an establishment that would create an atmosphere like this? And those individuals who are in that family probably wondering, what does it all mean? Let me bring in Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly reports, good friend, and I was listening to some of your observations, Greg. We're trying to feverishly discover the identity of the shooter. My hope and prayer is that the authorities will not keep his identity from us as other high-profile shooters' identities and manifestos have been kept from us by certain authorities in this country. Your thoughts?
Well, in a way, our hopes and prayers have already been answered in that President Trump is safe. President Trump will live to fight. In fact, he was fighting moments after this shooting. My emotions are high and all over the place. Extreme relief, anger that this happened.
Did you read Papa wrote?
No, I haven't. I'm trying to get my window up. God, I'm so upset.
Perhaps this is the gunman. I don't know. That certainly hasn't been
I got coverage up
confirmed.
Finally. Sorry about that, guys.
But I do see
I'm just trying to keep up. I'm getting a lot of direct messages. You know, I got stuff going on here.
People are speculating that he had just been killed, that he had just been taken down, or at least put down by
I already talked to
the
Anders.
Secret Service. I believe Ray Kelly is with us. Is that correct?
Yes, I am. President.
Yeah, they shot our fucking president.
Ray Kelly, the former police commissioner of New York City. This is Greg Kelly right here at Newsmax. And
all right, fine.
Commissioner Kelly happens to be my father, but you were also in charge of the Secret Service for a good chunk of time in the mid-1990s when you were Under Secretary of the Treasury. Service reported to you. You've seen the video. You're getting bits and pieces of information. What can you tell us, sir?
Well, I really can't tell you too much other than what has been reported, but it is ironic that you and I were talking about the possibility of assassination attempt against President Trump. We were talking in the last 24 hours. Because of the level of vitriol,
wow, X is just blowing up, guys. X. The Tiger's Den is just blowed up, man. Totally blowed up.
It was subject of such hateful rhetoric. It's incredible. We talked about last night, seeing people like Michael Moore talking about
no, it's crazy, guys.
Trump must be stopped, and you cannot get anywhere near 1800 Pennsylvania.
Jeff, you've been hearing me. You've been following me. You know I've been saying this, right? They cannot let him be in office. I said that they were going to try and take him out. I said it. I said it. I said it. Okay? I said it.
28 hours. So We don't
Yeah,
know.
that
I don't
China's
know much
pissed
about
now.
who has done this?
This was the
shooting.
worst mistake
But,
they ever made.
This former president has been impeached twice.
Hey,
has
Rice and Peas,
been
good to have you here.
The subject of charges that are certainly questionable. And it's come to this. We have to, as a nation, as a country, lower the level of hate and hate speech that we have heard in this.
This reminds me a
presidential
lot of the
campaign.
shooting at the baseball diamond
Totally agree.
on the Republican Party.
It just
This
Totally
reminds
agree,
me a
Commissioner
whole
Kelly.
lot of that, doesn't it?
We have a bit of information. We're getting this from Pennsylvania police sources. They believe that President Trump was not struck by a bullet, but that a bullet may have hit the glass teleprompter shield, and that glass shattered, and that is actually what impacted President Trump's face and
Holy
ear.
shit, did you just hear
But
that?
These were real bullets. And they hit at
They
least
said that
two
they don't
people,
believe he was hit by the
on
bullet.
stage
The
and
bullet
possibly
went through
more.
the teleprompter glass.
By the way, I know some,
And the glass
I had a
shards
similar injury in
cut
Iraq.
him
It was
and
a
probably
shrapnel
changed the
injury.
trajectory of the bullet.
It's no joke, and I'm sure no
Probably
one
changed the
minimized
trajectory of the bullet
teleprompter
just
glass.
enough
This
to
was
save his life.
an
He got hurt by the
assassination
glass.
attempt. It is so clear.
Wow.
Do you have any observations about
Wow, that's
the Secret
something.
Service response? You know, of course, we were. What you saw, did it appear like a standard? And
I don't know if it
ask
is
you this
minimizing
also.
or not. We
You
shall
know,
see.
President
We're going to
Trump on
find out. I mean,
January
we'll find
6th,
out whether he
spoke
was
to a
actually
large
hit with a
crowd
bullet.
behind a bulletproof glass, which kind of makes a lot of sense to me. We don't see a bulletproof glass there. We don't see bulletproof glass.
Good deal,
actually
Go
at
Hard
any of his
Entertainment,
rallies.
man. That's what this is going to
do you have any
galvanize
thoughts on that?
people. This is going to unify
Yeah,
people.
it
This is
should be.
bullshit. This is
Obviously,
ridiculous.
From now on, I'm sure we'll be seeing that, assuming he continues to do these rallies.
Wow.
But, yeah.
Man, I went to bed.
has
Everything was
raised the
fine.
stakes,
I woke up
tremendously.
after a nap,
And it's
and there's
also
been an
interesting to
assassination
note,
attempt on our former
that,
president.
Robert Kennedy, whose father and uncle were assassinated,
Just missed
has
it,
not
too.
been
Just
given
missed it.
Secret Service protection by this
We don't know
That
anything
has to,
forensically yet, Ted.
be changed
Mike,
immediately.
we just
Yeah, the
heard
game
that
has-
apparently he didn't get hit
We
with a
have
bullet. He got
report,
hit with glass from the teleprompter
the
glass.
New York Post that two snipers were involved in the
Two-
assassination
two
attempt
snipers.
on former President Trump. Law enforcement insiders said the assailants
Two
were both
snipers.
and were neutralized by the Secret Service.
Two
counter-assault
snipers. It was a
team.
two-sniper
I'm
team,
told
guys.
we
Two
may have
snipe. That's
Bob
new
Brooks
information.
on the ground at the rally. Bob, can you hear me?
Yeah, Greg, you got me. We're having kind of tough.
Look at that
signal
fist
right now
up. Look at
ever
that
since this
defiant
happened. As you
fist up.
imagine,
That's
we're trying to
my
scramble
president.
things. Do you got me?
We hear you loud and clear, Bob. Loud and clear. Please tell us what you saw. Tell us everything you can.
So, hot day, obviously. Trump came out, started to cool down, started giving his speech. And it was your typical Trump speech. The crowd was fired up. I sat down in my seat watching the president, and then you heard the first shot. Greg, it sounded like, honestly, it didn't sound like some kind of high-powered rifle, like kaboom. It was like a pop. It sounded like a firecracker, the first one. And then there was more, and then there was more, and then that's when it dawned on everybody there was an assassination attempt.
Oh,
going on,
my
or there's some type
God.
of shooting, to some degree, mass shooting.
Pop,
in the
pop,
crowd.
pop,
And
pop,
I
pop,
was
pop,
on the
pop,
risers,
apparently was what they
directly in
heard.
front of the president, and I ducked down. Everybody dove down, and then the firing stopped.
We don't
And I
know.
looked
We don't
up,
know. We don't know
and I
where
didn't
he
see
was.
President
We don't know where he was
Trump. I just saw the
perched or
scrum
anything yet.
around him on stage, and I just started shouting out. I said, "Where is he? Where is
Yes,
he? He down
yes.
there?" Like,
He
"Yeah,
called.
behind
He
the
said
podium.
we need to
He's
put
behind
Donald
the
Trump in
podium.
the
He's down."
bullseye.
I'm thinking the worst.
Two
I'm
snipers.
saying
That's
we
what
know
the
he's
reporting
okay
is
now.
right
Thank
now. There were
God.
two. There were
He's
two
okay.
gunmen.
And then off to the left. So, Greg, President Trump is speaking directly to the crowd.
Joe Biden.
To the right. The shot came. At least one of them, as you're saying now, there's two snipers involved in this. At least one of them was off in the risers. There's the risers behind him.
That's right.
You know,
They
to
said
the right,
time to
his
put Trump in the
right-hand
bullseye.
side.
A few
That's
days
where
later,
State police. I looked
he
over
gets
there. I
shot.
saw state police converged on somebody over there, a scrum going on just as well. By that time, the shooting had
Apparently
stopped,
both missed.
But the crowd was in dismay.
Maybe they're
I mean, we
MK
just saw an
Ultra, you know?
assassination attempt against the
Retards.
president.
I don't know.
It was kind of weird. Like some water system shot out from the two
Not
monitors.
sure we'll ever
that
know.
were by him. One of
Yeah,
them,
they
I don't know if
both
a bullet
missed.
hit it or something,
Apparently.
hit a line or whatnot, but everything stopped, and then water shot out.
It's
sprayed
possible
out from the side,
the
and then
teleprompter screen saved his life.
The rest is kind of a blur, Greg. We just had the assassination attempt on Trump, but I will say this: when he got up and he fist pumped the crowd,
Yes.
we all fist pumped him back.
Fist pumped
including
him back.
myself. We all screamed, "USA,
USA, USA." Ha ha!
It was happening in real time, so we didn't really know what to do. But we all fist pumped him, and they whisked him out, and then put him in the SUV, and then he was gone.
Wow, wow, wow. Have you ever think they're going to
Within
have an
seconds,
election
Greg,
cycle like
police
this
tape had
in
been
your
put up
life?
around that area.
Wow.
Secret Service in that area came through. They began kicking over chairs, obviously looking for weapons or whatnot. And it was all focused to that side. I did see what I thought to be blood on the bleachers to where the shots looked like they came from and to where that scrum was going on. And then the crowds, they got on the intercom and they said,
the presidency is right now a criminal cartel. Look at the guy flipping off.
we
Fuck
tried to get on
you!
there as soon as
Fuck
we could.
you!
And we did. And that's
To
the
anybody
latest
who
now.
tried to
Everyone's been
kill our
leaving, Greg. You can
president.
see behind me, this is
People are
this was
pissed
the
now,
row
boy.
Of all the Trump
Wow.
What a day. What a crowd was huge. I haven't seen a crowd covered a lot of Trump rallies. I haven't seen one like this. It was enormous. And to have it end like this, obviously it's awful. It's awful they tried to kill President Trump. It's just awful for the country, period. What happens next? Where do we go next?
No,
Where
they
are things
can't.
gonna
They
go?
can't
No
get
one knows.
anything
It's a new
right. They
country
can't even
now,
kill him
so-
right.
But that's the way it unfolded, Greg.
Well, that's because evil is always
Bob, thank you so
foiled
much. We're
in
glad
the
you're
end,
there.
isn't
Glad
it?
You're safe. and the
Foiled.
president is safe. I have a statement from the campaign. This just came in. President Trump thanks law enforcement.
He is a
and first
savage, Mike.
responders for
The
their
fist pump
quick
scene
action during
around
this heinous
the
act.
world.
He
In
is
defiance.
fine
You
and is
can't
being
kill
checked
me.
out at a local medical facility. More details will follow. That's from Stephen Chung, Trump spokesperson.
Yeah, very Steve Bannon
And Bob,
energy.
if you're still with me,
Totally.
can you just tell me how far from the podium were you? You said you were right in front of it. How many feet would you estimate you were from
Wow.
the president?
Well, we were on the risers, the press risers. So we were about maybe 75 yards away, right in front. I mean, I was looking right at him, and you hear this shot, and you kind of see, like, I don't know what I saw. Like, maybe a bullet whizzing by, and it's just everybody froze. And then
Wow,
pop,
wow.
pop, 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 pop. You heard the other ones, and then we ducked down. We were under attack, so we ducked down and tried to get safety. Once it stopped, then, but again, I'll never forget that moment my entire life. It's one for the history books when President Trump stood up and fist pumped the crowd. Obviously, this doesn't happen every day. I've never experienced anything like that. We all screamed. We were all cheering for him, every single one of us, fist pumping him back.
Yep.
Man, he's
the
crying.
Image,
He's
the
emotional.
image, Bob, it kind of looks like the Marines on Iwo Jima with that
talking
flag.
about
I think it is
the
going to go
reporter.
down in history. What an iconic
He said he
moment, and
fist
maybe
bumped
it's
him
too
in the
early for
crowd.
that.
Without a
We're
doubt.
again
Fist
just
bumped him back, man, like,
yeah.
gutter relief.
We're so relieved that the president
all
is
emotional. He's crying.
okay. He's fine, and he will be out there again. You know what? I'm a little bit surprised and gratified, relieved that there wasn't some sort of
Where it gets real.
stampede or a panic. The kind of was remarkably under control. When a sniper starts firing, you could imagine that hundreds of people might start running in all directions.
Hey, Wingnut. Apparently there was two
Your thoughts
shooters.
exactly
the
were
reporter
mine.
is there were
I
two
thought that was
gunmen,
what
a
was
second
about to
gunman
happen. I
too.
thought pandemonium, complete pandemonium was about to break loose, but it was so quick, and the state police, Secret Service was on.
We got
the
one.
guy.
We got
We're
one dead
people
shooter,
so
and we're
fast.
unclear.
And I don't know if Secret
Unclear
Service,
on the what's going
snipers,
on
right,
with the
you say
second
they
shooter.
countered it, and they got to him so quick.
Oh, it's a lock. It's
but
a shoe in now.
The people
This
here,
is a shoe in now.
Nobody. I mean, we panicked, but nobody went completely insane afterwards. It was over so quick. It was surreal, Greg. We just saw an assassination attempt on
Only
President
the
Trump.
most extreme wings
and then
will
after it
continue to
happened,
vote for
we were all
Biden
just
at
like
this
in a
point.
daze. And then Secret Service is walking in. They're saying, okay, you got to pack your bags. You got to go.
You know, the 25% of the lunatics in the
taking orders.
country
You're
out there.
following along. People were crying. Greg, I interviewed some women coming out crying, teary-eyed, rightfully so. I can't blame them. They just can't believe it's got to this point. Though I've been listening to the broadcast. Lydia has made a lot of great points.
I don't
too.
know.
We all thought this was a possibility.
We haven't
I've
monitored
heard many people say that this
any
potentially could have
news
happened to
yet.
President Trump. And you hear that
You might want to
rhetoric
see if
and
you
they're
can
like,
find
oh,
some
well,
left-wing
it's
news.
so extreme. It's
We
so
haven't
extreme.
seen.
Clearly, it's not.
We're only getting
Clearly,
stuff
that's
right
where it
now
is,
from
Greg.
Newsmax.
That's what happened today.
Friendly sources.
President Trump
we don't know
killed.
we don't
Thank
know
God he
what they're going to
wasn't.
say.
But it just and since
Well,
then,
I will
everyone's
be
been in a daze.
really
People have been
curious to
slowly
see
walking out
how
and
they
doing
handle this
interviews, and
tomorrow
sad. Everyone's
morning
sad.
on the
Like I said, people are
news.
crying.
The liberal news.
We understand. We understand. What a wild moment, and people are.
Oh yeah, the current president, Arby. Are you kidding? You think he's going to make a statement tonight that this is unacceptable? No, I'm saying, you think he's going to? I bet he won't.
As to how many shooters,
He better.
one or two.
Like, this is unacceptable. We're level we've gotten to in this country. Blah 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 blah. But he won't. He won't.
Assassins, attempted assassins, or 2 shooters involved in this. We are hearing that the shooter was
I have
killed by
to,
a
Jeff.
Secret
We
Service
have
assault
to.
team. One other person
'Cause
believed to be
it's half
a
of my,
civilian
also
killed.
My news feed now, because I mean,
Once again, the president is.
it's important
is
to cover what
saying,
these psychos are
but we have
lying about
no
and saying on a daily
details
basis.
yet about his condition or exactly what kind of wounds he sustained. He is grateful for the Secret Service and their fast reaction. We saw it, and we might as well re-rack the video and maybe take it from the top.
So,
It's remarkable how much
little
you
news.
can see.
Apparently, in England, they're going to release 40% of the current prison population due to overcrowding. 40%, nearly half of all crimmies. They're going to put them back out on the street in England. Isn't that great? Isn't that special?
Yeah, Greg, I'm here.
I would imagine. You bet. Look, this is an active crime scene. I'm hearing there are law enforcement still all over the place, interviewing people. What's happening in that regard? You told us in
I am so
great
proud
detail,
of
and we
our
appreciate it.
president.
What
I am so
happened?
proud of him.
What's happening right now?
To your point, Greg, crime scene investigation. So after everyone had collected themselves and the apparent threat
No,
was
man, took it like a
neutralized,
man. You got
the
that
Secret
right.
Service, they come in, okay, and on the riser where the shots came from, and they tackled the person and killed them, I guess. They roped
Bob,
that
do me a
area
favor. I just
off.
have to let me jump in for a moment. It looks like I'm told that this footage here is the shooter being taken away, and actually it looks like someone's performing CPR on an individual. Whether that's the shooter, whether that couldn't be the shooter, to be honest. That couldn't be, based on the location. That's right behind where President Trump was speaking. You could see that somebody, and we heard somebody else was shot, and that would have been pretty much in the line of fire. Gosh, we are looking at people scrambling, I think, to save a life. This individual, I don't believe, is the shooter. I believe this is a victim. Yet we can't say for sure, really, much of anything at this point. We're just taking this in. We're waiting for a confirmation. But I believe that was another victim. And people, they're blood-stained, regular
Holy
people
crap.
with their shirts stained with blood in the aftermath of this horrible,
This is just
horrible
crazy.
event. Wow. Bob, sorry about that.
I feel like I'm
but,
living
this
in
is
a
pretty key piece of video.
dystopian
Tell us
reality.
more, if you don't
Like,
mind. What's happening
so
right now?
hard right now. I can't explain it. I mean, I know
So
I'm
the crime
high,
scene
but geez.
investigation, immediately after, and Trump had left, and the apparent the threat was neutralized. They roped off that area in crime scene tape where the
That was
shots
awfully
came
quick
from,
how
and
quick
then
they
everybody
neutralized the
had to
threat.
leave.
Like,
We were on
almost
the
like they
risers,
knew where
Greg,
it
and
was
we had to leave
coming
most of our
from, you
equipment.
know?
We took just enough so we could get our live shots out, but they were like, you got to go. Everyone's got to go right now. This is a crime scene. Secret Service agents, they came through, everybody had to go. Everybody had to leave the fairgrounds. And as we're walking out, agents all over the place. And I saw a medevac going off. I don't know if that was for former President Trump. I have no idea. But that just added to the chaos of the situation at the time because nobody had really known. We got a little
when I first turned on the TV and I put on
really
Wolf Neve, I looked for the live feed to see what the hell was going on, just kind of because I didn't know,
what was going on. So
I was going to watch a movie.
Farm show grounds, Greg.
And I saw President shot. Not a joke or not a drill on Wolfie, and I couldn't believe it. I said, "Oh my God!" So I tuned in live.
But that has all come to an end. And like I said, I just talked to people. So I talked to a gentleman who was in the second row. I showed me his wristband. He said, "Yeah, I was sitting right there. I saw him get shot." At the time, we didn't know.
Wow.
It's unsure yet. Yeah, did it hit that glass and
Stop.
spray? Like I said, and that guy's story corroborates mine. There was some kind of burst around his head, and then we just, what was that? And then bang, 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 more happened, and that's when we knew that there was an assassination attempt going on.
And
Did you ever think you'd use the word assassination? I did. I did. I did.
A rally, just a person attending the rally, maybe in VIP seating.
Son of a
Katrina
bitch.
Zish is with us. And Katrina, I think we have reaction from President Biden.
We do have a statement. Also, I do want to update that we are hearing that the former president was hit by shrapnel again that was flying from.
Yeah, it's tough. You got to, you don't know, right? Because information is thin in the beginning, RB. And so you don't know. But all I can do is tell you right now, we have reports that there were two shooters.
Witness who saw
and he wasn't hit, but probably injured from shrapnel from the teleprompter.
All right, what I'm going to do.
The event, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw. So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see them, but we could hear them. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof. And he had a gun, right? He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle.
Oh, this guy saw the shooter.
We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him. 2 or 3 minutes.
Listen to 2 or 3 minutes.
Looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
Wow. Now, listen, I'm going to pause it for a second. Holy shit. This guy just stated he saw this guy crawl up on the roof, and he started making noise, pointing at this guy, going, hey, 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 for 2 or 3 minutes, and he's wondering why Trump is still talking, because someone should figure out that there's someone got a gun aimed at him. The business or something, where he saw the shooter climb up on the fucking rooftop, and he was waving it to Secret Service and stuff. No, you're not on. They don't want you to be on. Too much meds. Too much Mishka. Too much fucking Mishka. I got to live with this. My wife is retarded and out of her mind, okay? Oh, God. Jesus.
You're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof? 100%. 100%. And he was up there for a couple of minutes. He was up there. You saw him up there for a couple of minutes. Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes. And you were telling the police and the Secret Service? We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service.
We're telling the police, he said.
From the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time. When we were
this fucking guy with a beard goes to get close, and he sees the fucking shooter climb up on the damn top of a roof. So he starts waving his arms. He grabs cops. He's like, what, and he tells the cops all about it, the whole thing. And it was like 2, 3, 4 minutes. and still nobody did anything. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. It's really interesting information.
About that tree. Binoculars.
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean,
Why
this is not
are
a
there
big
not
place.
Secret Service on all of these roofs, the guy asks. You know, that's a good question, because I know a little bit about Secret Service protection, okay? I've read a book, okay? I happen to do stuff like that, right? What? Oh, what? If there's any break in the ranks regarding the CIA protecting Donald Trump, we got a real problem here. Wow. Or the Secret Service, seriously.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
Yeah, maybe an hour.
They crawled up on the roof.
Maybe an hour in.
They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
That's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
This guy's life is in danger, guys.
Muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure.
This is turning into a big train wreck, guys.
I wasn't close enough to read the label on it,
but
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So, how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now.
Right.
But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof.
Oh, shit. You're hearing this, right? This guy's basically saying if it would have been anybody else, Secret Service would have been all the fuck over the top of it. Every rooftop should have been covered within 2 miles of that place, however long you can float a bullet. Okay, 5,000 feet, or whatever it is, the longest shot. What the fuck?
We mentioned a moment ago, Katrina. What does he have to say?
This is rotten to the core, guys.
At Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania, I'm grateful to hear that he is safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family, and for all those who are at the rally as we await further information.
You thinking he's a
Jill
plant?
and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety.
So if that's what you're saying, Arby, the reporter's talking. Arby, if you're not buying this guy, then you must be I'm thinking in the camp of that this is something that's set up by the Trump camp. Okay, I mean that's wow, that's a pretty. I mean, it could happen. I could buy it, right? I could buy it. But man, I don't know.
Really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
People are terrified. All right, this is the whole clip right here, guys.
Hold. When you're ready, on you. Ready? Move. Move.
Ready, move.
Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the stair.
Holy shit. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. We're clear. Let's move. We're clear. Come on.
Let me get my shoes.
Got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we got to move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Look at that. Look at that. Covering the president.
Watch out.
Wait. He said wait. Yeah! I don't know, man. If it was something set up by the Trump camp, it might go down in history as one of the most genius things ever, except that it killed somebody. That would be problematic. But we'll never hear about it. Wow.
Of course, I heard somebody say, hold him, hold him, hold him. And then from President Trump, I heard, let me get my shoes. And then wait, because he didn't want to be taken. I think so he could have an opportunity to reassure the crowd that he was okay. But Katrina, they were taking him out. It seemed like he was wounded, perhaps his legs or something like that he had difficulty.
No, there are people
walking.
saying it might have been set up by Trump. I don't buy it.
If he was also in complete shock, just in that moment, the amount of adrenaline that I could only imagine would be going through when you do realize whether or not he saw blood on his hand, because we did see the blood coming from his ear where he was apparently grazed, and we're learning right now that the shooting,
thank God he was grazed,
because
that little bit of blood on his cheek,
attempt,
that's gold, dude. That photograph of him fist pumping with blood on his face is like so iconic, man.
Absolutely terrifying moment.
Holy shit, we just saw history, man. We're living through history together. Isn't this crazy?
From that moment.
The attempted assassin reportedly is dead.
God, I can't believe I missed this when I was taking a nap. I didn't see it live.
That they were trying to call attention to this person on a roof for some period of time before the shots started to ring out. There's also a report that another person, a rally attendee, just a regular person there, may have been seriously wounded. Yes. We saw CPR being performed on an individual, and a lot of folks trying to help him, and we don't have an identity. We don't have much of anything at this point. There are some conflicting reports. I'm actually going to go with the New York Post.
All right,
the shooter identified as a Chinese national was in a sniper position located hundreds of yards away from Trump's podium in Butler, Pennsylvania, as he spoke to a campaign crowd. This is again
the shooter is a Chinese national, guys. Chinese national. This is breaking news.
John Huddy is in Milwaukee. Is that correct, John?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
John, you're talking to the campaign people. What do you have for us?
Uh-oh, where did it go? Where did it go? Hang on, stop.
These event security is already high. I was at the Trump rally at the Trump National in Doral, as you may recall, on Tuesday. And typically what happens is there's a media preset well in advance of the rally, even the beginning of the rally or when Trump is supposed to speak. And what happens is you go in there, the media sets up the camera gear, you set up the equipment, you bring in your bags, anything that you're going to be bringing in. And that could be anywhere from 7 to 8 hours prior to the rally. And then people obviously start showing up hours in advance, 5, 6 hours, but they have to wait to go through while the Secret Service does a sweep of the venue, if it's at a venue or if it's at the Trump National.
Yeah, once it's out there on the internet, it'll live forever, I think.
Area, and you have not only the Secret Service, you have law enforcement, you have state police, you have local police, you have SWAT tactical teams, all basically on hand providing security. So today was much the same as well. Before this incident happened. That's what the Secret Service is calling it. What we're hearing, according to Pennsylvania State Police sources, is that the shooter, the alleged shooter, opened fire, possibly glass fragments from the teleprompter, may have hit former, apparently, according to our sources, hit former President Trump. But as we know,
what I want to see is the news tomorrow. I want to see the left-wing news. What are they going to say about this?
Secret Service, the security is always very, very tight. So that is going to be the case here. In fact, there's a preset going on right now.
I hear you, RB, which is why I'm gonna do my best to make sure that I at least have a copy as well.
So
I will.
How this affects the event?
I agree.
Tomorrow
we can't trust anybody yet
when
in
it
this
kicks
world.
off on Monday as well, you better believe that security is going to be even at a much heightened and greater level as well. But a lot of reaction, bipartisan reaction is
we have
pouring
leveled
in
up this
at this point,
day, boys
from
and
both
girls. We have
Democrats,
leveled
Republicans
up.
as well. The
Put
governor
on
of
your big boy
Pennsylvania,
pants
said that
now.
violence has no place in our society. We're
Holy
hearing that
shit.
also from other Democratic officials, both local and federal officials as well. The campaign, meantime, Stephen Chung with the Trump campaign says the former president is okay.
What a time to be in the news business. You know what I'm saying? Wow,
of him
holy
going
shit.
down when the shots were fired.
This is the kind of
doing
stuff
right
that makes
thing
and breaks
at the podium,
careers,
going
man.
down, and then the Secret Service amassing.
I know, right? You
getting
feel
on
like
top
you're
of him,
living in
getting him out
another
of there, and
world,
then
right?
getting up
We're
and,
living in a
and
world
waving his
now
fist, saying what appeared
where
to
we
be
had,
fun.
I mean, when was the last time
Don't
we
know
had an
that for sure.
assassination
But
attempt on an
again, I
American
can tell
president?
you,
That would be
not
Ronald
to repeat
Reagan.
myself too much here, but
Okay?
security at these
And I
events is
was
always very,
I was a
very
wee
high.
sprite. I remember we had dial
that said,
telephones.
This is still being
And
investigated.
you couldn't get through it.
You know,
Couldn't call
we
my
don't wanna
mom.
jump to
Right?
conclusions. We don't
That's how
wanna
long it
speculate
was
too
ago.
much
I'm
about the
62 years
circumstances
old
leading
now. I
up
was
to this, but
14 at the
obviously,
time
this
or
is a very
something.
serious
It was
situation.
almost 50 years.
Well, some circumstances we don't have to speculate about. We know the
Shit
rhetoric
is-
has
this
been
shit is
incredibly intense,
crazy.
and a lot of high-level Democrats and even some Republicans using phrases like a clear and present danger, which actually connotes that you can break the law. To
Yes,
stop
clear
the,
and present danger.
Whatever is the clear and present danger, and
Yeah,
they
put him in the
characterize
bullseye.
President Trump as that. And for many of us, the rhetoric has gone way overboard, and we were worried about this eventuality. However, we don't know everything. We don't know the motives. We don't know the identity of the shooter or shooters.
I'll tell you something else.
Very new.
They had a couple of choices. They had a choice to try and take out Trump, or they got the other choices to take out Biden. Okay, now listen to me. Listen to me. You want to talk about a fucking false flag operation that they considered, and I bet you any money put on the table? Hey, let's invigorate Joe Biden by putting him up there and shooting at him and then rushing him off, thereby painting all the MAGA extremists on the left as psychotic, murderous motherfuckers. How about that? So I think they tried this one first, and I think they fucked up. I think they fucked up because you know Joe Biden is in China's pocket, right?
From a Biden
You know this, right?
To the New York Times. John, are you hearing anything else?
All the Chinese grow houses over here, all the shit going on with China.
I heard he just said
this
something
China
about
connection is
losing
going
it,
to turn
but-
out to be interesting, guys.
Okay, we're actually going to go to Maryland right now. James Rosen is standing by, and I'm just going to reiterate that we have it on good authority that President Trump is in good spirits, that he is safe.
Papa, you got every
and that
reason
he
to be
is,
nervous.
"Quote unquote" fine.
It's if the hairs on your arms aren't standing up right now,
He was not seriously injured, it would seem, and
Then
we are very, very grateful and
you're not
relieved.
paying attention.
However, we
right?
still don't have all
You ain't
the
full
facts.
of the
James
Holy
Rosen,
Ghost, right?
Thanks so much for being with us. What are you hearing, sir?
Greg and Katrina, good afternoon.
Wow, what a news
we have
day.
heard, through the
Wow.
White House press pool that President Biden is going to be making remarks any minute now. We received a 2-minute warning a little over 2 minutes ago. The president is going to be speaking at the police department in Rehoboth, Delaware. He has been briefed, Mr. Biden, on this incident.
Oh, the president's going to talk
both
about it, our
by,
potato in chief.
The director of the Secret Service, as well as Alejandro Mayorkas, the Secretary of Homeland Security, and Liz Sherwood Randall, who is
Mayorkas
the
is going to
President's
speak.
Homeland Security advisor. And also taking part in those briefings included Jeff Zients, the White House chief of staff.
What are we talking about here?
We may need to break away from me any moment because we are given to understanding that President Biden is going to be speaking imminently. This, of course, aside from the human dimension of this and the prayers for former President Trump's speedy recovery, this is many things at once here. As you note, an unfolding story, a mystery of sorts still. Even the assertion that former President Trump is fine will await further medical disclosure. As to the identity and motives, of course, of the shooter or shooters, that too remains unknown. Here is former President Biden.
The fuse has been lit, guys.
It appears we may have just missed his statement there.
Well, they just missed the statement.
But we do
That's
know
how
from,
long it was.
President Biden's Twitter account.
Oh
that
my
he said,
God.
Shortly before
They
8
just
p.m.
missed.
Eastern Time,
He
quote,
was
"I have been
talking.
briefed on the
Rosen was
shooting at Donald
talking, and they
Trump's rally
fucking
in
missed his
Pennsylvania.
entire
I'm
statement.
grateful to hear that he's safe and doing
What did he do?
well.
Shit
I'm
himself
praying
and
for
walk
him
off?
and Emily and for all those who are at
Seriously,
the rally
what
as we
happened?
await further information. Concluding, President Biden's tweet said, "Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety."
Man, dude,
There's
the
no
world
place
is
for this
upside
kind of
down. I don't
violence
know
in
what's
America.
going on right
We must
now.
unite as one
Holy
nation
shit.
to condemn it, unquote. Of course, there are political ramifications to this incident, aside from the other effects we just mentioned. Here we have former President Trump appearing to survive an assassination attempt in which it appears he was
Honest
shot
to
in the
God,
right
this
ear,
entire administration
and
is a
then
fucking
rising to communicate with the
clown
audience with
car.
a fist bump. At the same time that we are largely, as a nation, worrying when we can get through a single news conference. This is bound to have some political effect. As we just mentioned, the Biden-Harris campaign has announced that it is suspending its outward communications.
This is CBS. This is
once again,
CBS.
what was already a
Rosen.
volatile time,
We're listening
an
to the news.
unprecedented, election cycle is made more so by these frightening events. We should pause to note, as John Huddy was, that it appears that the suspect in this case has been shot and killed. I have one piece of hearsay reporting, clearly labeled as such here, to pass along, which is that a former military service member friend of mine said to me, someone I trust implicitly, that he had spoken with a former military colleague of his who was seated in the second row at this Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, and that this individual told him that former President Trump was shot in the right ear from his left side. I asked if this service member from the Afghanistan conflict, who was situated in the second row, purportedly, would be willing to speak with me. That request was rejected. I was told on the grounds that the purported individual in the second row is still suffering trauma from having witnessed this event. So there is so much still more to be learned. We have heard from President Biden both in word and on camera. We have to simply await further detail on a whole range of issues associated with this extraordinary, frightening, and disconcerting event. Greg, Katrina.
Are you ready?
Wow.
Thank you, James. I do want to go through what the president just said. We're re-racking the tape. He said that President Trump is with his doctors. He hopes to speak with him shortly. President Biden, reports that he believes he is doing well. President Trump is doing well. The idea of this kind of political violence, he says it's unheard of and not appropriate. He was asked if it was an assassination attempt.
You told him to put a bullseye on him.
Well, I don't have, I have an opinion, but I don't have enough facts. He says, again, President Trump is doing well. He also says he hopes to talk to him shortly on the phone. Called him Donald a couple of times. Hopes to talk to Donald on the phone shortly, and said he would be perhaps updating
Jeff,
or providing more information.
I just read the signs, dude.
That's right. Okay, we are
I've
now
just
going to
been
bring in
reading the
Pennsylvania
signs.
Dan
Okay,
Muser.
people are going to go to
Dan,
jail when Donald Trump gets back in office. An assassination attempt was inevitable. Inevitable. It was just I just was wondering when it was going to ratchet up.
Front row, just to the right of President
This is
Trump.
early. I thought it was going to happen after he got the presidency. He won the presidency.
We were sitting together 6-7 minutes into
not appropriate.
President Trump's speech.
Yeah, no shit.
We heard the gunfire.
No shit, motherfucker.
And it came out pretty fast.
Fist
5
pump.
or 6 shots.
Fist
at least,
pump.
And then followed by
that
3 or
was
4 more.
heard, felt, and seen around the
after about 2
world.
shots, grabbed his ear
Guys.
and hit the deck as he knew he was
Wow.
under fire.
I mean, I hate to look at this through a political lens, but you understand what I'm saying?
And around me,
He's
realized what was
okay,
happening,
and he
of
went
course, there was
off
some panic.
with a fucking fist pump,
the gunfire
guys.
sounded so close. Frankly, I just had a anger and
Defiance.
It's
Be
sort of a helpless
ungovernable.
feeling. But,
Are you listening to me?
but
Become
very sadly,
fucking
a couple
ungovernable,
of,
guys. Stop
civilians,
it.
were
Stop
hit.
the
One
compliance.
not too far from
Stop
me,
it.
behind me,
We're fucking human
and,
batteries.
My understand is they
Okay?
died. They were killed.
Oh,
So
Lord.
it's a really
Almighty.
serious tragedy.
I'm starting to get riled up now.
And we boy oh boy, we need to do better in our society than this. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Congressman,
Snakes
have
in the
you heard
fucking
anything
grass.
about, President
Obama's
Trump,
running this
his
whole
injuries
fucking
or
show.
anything like
Them
that?
and the Clinton
He gave us an
organization.
excellent
I can't.
report.
And I
All we
don't
have
know
hearing
which is
we saw that he seemed to be
which is
wounded on the, in the
more
face.
Ew.
that he's fine.
Okay, or in power.
President,
but they're
Biden
both
said
at the
he's with his
table.
doctors.
At the uber elite.
He's doing well. We did see that it kind of he left the stage with some difficulty. Whether he was limping, he really was kind of leaning on the Secret Service. At the same time, giving America a great deal.
Man,
of
when you're fucking 78 years old and you hit the deck, okay, you're gonna probably hurt your hip, you know, or shit.
No, but the president did. He assured, he cleared the Secret Service for a moment just to give a thumbs up to everyone that he was okay.
Defiant. I love it. I just love it.
They were on the scene real fast.
Oh my God! I think that this needed to happen.
Pennsylvania State Troopers.
It's needed to happen.
They were all many.
God knows best. God knows what He's doing, guys.
Fast.
Right?
Just a great.
Look at this.
Great officers. So,
when God doesn't want somebody to die, they won't die. Do you get it?
By rifle fire. So I'm not positive it was rifle, but from that distance, it must have been. And another quarter of an inch, he would have been. He would have been hit severely. So we're very, very lucky. We're fortunate, and we've got to. This level of lack of civility is hostility needs to be cooled down. Maybe this is an opportunity for that.
No, it needs to be ramped up. The level of fucking hostility needs to be ramped up, and other people need to be put in fucking jail and deported, and police operations, fucking policing operations.
We know that President Biden is pausing
retribution.
Outgoing campaign messaging as we speak. And speaking of that, we appreciate your joining us. Glad that you
there
are
needs
safe.
to be retribution.
We're going to go back and listen to what President Biden said just moments ago in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
Folks.
All right, here it is.
Briefed by all the agencies in the
Previously.
federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening.
You caused
we cannot
this.
Be like this. We cannot condone this.
You fucker.
And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the
condone
agencies,
this every
including the state
day.
agencies that have been engaged in making sure that the people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight.
We have
We'll
other
put out a
outlets
statement
instead of you.
If I'm not able to give, if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody.
Oh, you're going to lose now.
If I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that
now all of a
as
sudden
well.
you're going to backpedal?
So far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports.
What's he saying?
And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple
bumbling
hours.
Idiot.
So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to him tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do, okay?
Mr. President, do you think there was an assassination attempt?
Sure looks like it.
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Are you worried, President?
That's it. Wander off.
Security failing, Mr. President?
Wander off like an Autobot.
President Biden said to be unified.
Wow, guys. Wow.
In setting the tone.
Wow.
On July 8th.
Thanks for sharing this with me live. Wow.
I have one job.
Holy crap, man.
I'm absolutely certain I'm the best person to be able to do that. So we're done talking about the debate.
Wow.
It's time to put Trump in
Thanks for sharing. Seriously. This is crazy. This is so weird, man. I'd be losing my mind right now if I didn't have friends with me.
Yeah, there's nothing about unifying there at all. It is quite the opposite. And even when we
God,
listen
he's
to,
a brain dead
people
turd.
describe former President Trump as Hitler, saying
He's a
he's
dead
going to
man
ruin
walking.
democracy, saying if he gets reelected, he's going to be a dictator. He's going to get rid of the Constitution. That is the kind of